Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Hi, I am Shiv. Nice to meet you. I'm starting to remember to introduce myself, which is so much better. In today's video I have another makeup challenge for you. Today's makeup challenge is going to be a fun one. It's one that Nikkie Tutorials came up with, I believe. I'm pretty sure she's the first one that did it, but I'll link her video down below, and if I find that someone else did it then I'll also link their video down below as well. But it is the Google Picks My Makeup Challenge. I watched this video and I thought this was such a cool idea, and I feel like now that YouTube has so many talented makeup artists out there, looks are kind of being repeated almost, not in like a bad way, because obviously I'm going to still keep doing makeup tutorials and practicing with makeup and playing around and everything like that, but it's really one of these challenges that really helps you to like become creative again and step out of your comfort zone and just really take inspiration for something and see what you can come up with. Okay, so I thought I'd probably explain the rules of this challenge before I go on further, otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense. So basically the way the Google Picks My Makeup Challenge works is you Google your first initial of your first name and your first initial of your last name into Google. For example, mine would be SJ, and then you type look, and then you see what comes up, like the first image on Google, and that's what you have to take your inspiration from and come up with a look inspired by that photo, which is really cool. When I originally googled SJ look, it came up with just a bunch of random guys and just nothing that I could really come up with a look from. So I decided to kind of play around with the rules a little bit. I'm cheating a little bit here. So I put my middle name in as well. So I put SSJ in and then put look and perfect. And then for some reason, Dragon Ball Z, I'm looking at my screen now, came up. I know it's like a kid's cartoon show, but that came up with a picture of the guy with bright blue neon hair. And he's got like a red kind of like jacket thing on with the text that says Dragon Ball Z in red and a bit of yellow. So I thought, perfect, like that's what I can use inspo from and come up with a more creative look rather than just kind of coming up with something neutral like the other pictures. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. I've laid out a bunch of makeup on my desk with kind of colours that are going in with the theme of this look, and I'm just going to see what happens really. So if you want to see what makeup look I can come up with, really, I'm sure you'll see it on the thumbnail. But if you want to see how I got to that, then please carry on watching and I shall show you how. Before you do, please hit the subscribe button down below. It would mean the absolute world. You can also click the notification bell as well, and that will definitely update you when I upload a new video. But yes, let's just carry on and see what happens. Okay, so I think I've got an idea for the eyes. I'm going to do like a bright blue with a halo eye and a sharp outer wing. So I'm going to go get a piece of sellotape, I think, and apply that to the outer corner. So we are back in business with the sellotape on the outer corner of the eyes. I simply lined it up from the outer corner right to the end where my brow will kind of meet it. If you don't want to apply sellotape, then please don't. Apply micropore tape, it's a lot more gentle on the skin, or you can just hold a debit card like in my beauty hacks video and that will really help to create the sharp wing, or at the end just take a makeup wipe and wipe off the excess. But yes, the first shade I'm going to go in with is from the Sleek Ultra Mattes version 1 palette, and this is the light blue shade right here in the corner. I'm going to start applying this to the lid, like the crease area, as my transition shade. So I'm just going to pop this into the crease of my eye. These are very like pastel-y type shadows, so I think it will take quite a while to build up the colour, but this is more just going to act as transition colour just to kind of lay down the vibe that I'm going for. So not too neat at all, just kind of applying that in the upper crease of my eye using my Sigma E40 brush. I always want to call this the E25, but the E25 is completely different. Apply a little bit to the outer corner as well and bring it inwards, and then the same on the inner corner. I really hope this makeup look looks cool at the end, because I just do. I think that would be cool if it turned out cool. Next I'm going to go in with this blue right here from the Morphe 35B palette, which is quickly becoming my favourite palette. It's so amazing, the colours are incredible. So I'm just going to take this on my Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush. I'm just going to apply this into the crease, starting with the centre and then bringing it outward, and also on the inner corner as well. Just in little windshield wiper motions. And then I'm also going to apply it very heavily to the outer corner to kind of start working on that halo eye. Then I'm going to go back in with that pale blue shade just to blend it out a little bit. So it's giving me like ocean mermaid vibes at the moment, and it's definitely not the route I want to be taking. Next I'm going to go in with a navy blue from the Morphe 35B palette right here. I'm just going to take this on the brush that comes with the Anastasia palettes, and I'm just going to apply this pretty much in the same area but just focusing it further into the crease and really not bringing it upward at all. Starting with the middle and then working outwards and then inwards. And then I'm going to pack it on the inner corner and the outer corner. And then just keep looking forward, and where the eye is where the kind of centre of the halo eye is going to go. I feel like blue eyes have really been a trend since Kim Kardashian came out with that palette with palette with Makeup by Mario. So everyone's going down the 80s theme with this blue eyeshadow, which I quite enjoy because I feel like it's quite colourful and fun, and you should never be afraid of colour. That looks really cool. Then I'm going to go back in with that lighter blue shade, like the mid-range blue, and then just kind of blend it out a little bit. Just going to start with the middle and little wiggly motions. I'm not going like directly over the dark blue shade, more so just in between it and the lighter blue. Then I'm going to go back in with a really light blue just to go over the top of it. This is definitely a process so far. It does look quite cool. It's like sort of sunset, not sunset, but like ocean eyes. Yeah, like the ocean. And then I'm just going to apply that in the middle of the halo eye. This is looking so cool. I'm like so happy with how this is looking so far. Oh my god, that looks so cool. I'm so happy with this. Then just to kind of touch it up, I'm going to go back in with the darker like shimmery blue. So I'm actually in love with this so far. Like, I'm so happy with it. I think it looks like an ocean reflection almost. But what I'm going to do is just peel off the tape. I'm not too fussed about this little bit where it's dipped down. I'm just going to get a makeup wipe in a sec and fix that up. For now, what I'm going to do is actually highlight my brow bone with that Moonchild blue eye shade with the same brush. I've wiped it on my trousers so it doesn't come up really blue from the shadow, but I'm just going to take a little bit of that blue eye shade, tap off the excess, and then apply it to my brow bone. I don't tend to use blues all that often, so when I do I really want to go like full blue because I have green eyes, so I find it washes it out quite a lot. But I really think you can just wear any eye makeup look you want. You shouldn't really have to follow rules like, oh, this eyeshadow doesn't go well with this eye or whatever. Just do whatever you want to do. Okay, so once that's applied, I'll take the brush that had the light blue shade just to carefully blend it out a little bit. I'm being really careful not to touch the top of the halo eye, otherwise it will mess it up completely. I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and wipe away this little bit here so it's even, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now moving on to like liner and lashes. I'm going to apply a thin line as I can get it to the lash line. This is the Sigma liquid pen liner in the shade Wicked. I'm just going to apply it with like the tip of the eyeliner pen, as close to the lashes as possible. It's not really to like do a wing or anything like that. I don't feel like I want to do a wing. Do I want to do a wing? No, I don't want to do a wing, but I'm just going to apply it right to here as close to the lash line as possible. Then I shall be curling my lashes. And then I'm going to go in with a generous coat of mascara. This is the Sigma Sinuosity Lash, which is my new fave mascara. It's so good. Just going to apply it starting with the root of the lash and then pulling upward. I'm going to try and be careful this time not to smudge it around, because if I smudge it I feel like I'm going to ruin the whole thing. Now on to lashes. I'm taking the Lovable lashes in the style Princess Pandora. I love these lashes. I used to wear them all the time. They're the ones that are kind of like bigger in the middle, so they'll work perfectly for a halo eye. They are faux mink lashes. But yeah, I'm going to apply these and I'll be right back. So moving on to the lower lash line, I'm actually going to be taking two of Sigma's eye pencils. And the first one is in the shade My Cloud, which I'll be applying in the kind of like inner section. And then I'm going to apply Indigo Bird on the outer section. It may kind of smudge a little bit, but we'll blend it out and it will be okay. So I'm going to start with the Indigo Bird shade and just apply this under my lower lash line up to kind of where my pupil would be if I was looking forward. Then also apply that on the inner rim of the eye. Just smudging it into the lashes as well. And then I'm also going to apply this one all over the upper lash line. I just point blank poked myself in the eye. Please don't do that. I also need to apply some more lash glue to my inner corner, but I'll fix that in just a sec. So now I'm also going to apply this in the inner section of my lower lash line as well. I'll be a bit gentle because I did just poke myself in the eye. Then I'll go back in with the light blue just on the middle section. I'm going to apply the dark blue to the outer section of the lower lash line, meeting up with the wing, and then the same on the inner corner. I'm going to go in with that blue eye shade from the Moonchild palette, and yep, you guessed it, we're going to apply it in the centre of the lower lash line as well. So now moving on to the face after we have these crazy blue eyes, I'm going to just go ahead with my normal foundation routine. If you would like to see it in detail, I do have it linked down below on my channel. So I'm just going to kind of race through it in case you are new and would like to see it. But if you have watched it before, it'll probably be quite boring for you. So I'm just going to go in with Primark's Primer Water. And then grab my mirror to give it a little fan. And then I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution. Oh wait, no, it's not Makeup Revolution anymore, it's Revolution. I'm going to take their baking oil. I really like this stuff. I tested it out in a first impressions video. If you'd like to see that, it's also linked down below. This is slightly different from the foundation routine because I usually use the Blur Primer, but I fancy a bit of a glow today. So I'm going to massage that into my hands and then massage it into my skin. I feel like my skin has picked up some colour. Like, I am really pale and the exposure of the camera will make me look even paler than I am, but definitely like around this section my freckles are starting to come out, which is really nice. I love freckles. If you are blessed with a face full of freckles, like, I envy you. Like the supermodel, I can't remember her name, but the supermodel that's covered in freckles, oh, she's so beautiful. I love freckles so much. So yeah, enough rambling about freckles. That baking oil has been massaged into my skin. For foundation, I'm just going to kind of race through this. I'm mixing two Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundations in the shade of 120 and 130. No specific reason other than the fact that I'm running out. I really need to purchase like a paler foundation and another foundation as well, because I always find myself like mixing random foundations and it's just annoying. So I'm going to start off with a shade of 120, just apply that to my face, and then I'm also going to apply a little bit of the shade 130 as well, just to kind of mix it together really. Nothing fancy here, but I'm just taking my damp Miracle complexion sponge from Real Techniques and just pouncing this into the skin. Now I'm going to go on to contour. I'm taking the Primark My Perfect Colour Concealer Stick in the shade Caramel. This is more just to kind of add a bronze to the skin. I'm not really going to go in with like a harsh contour. Just to add some warmth to the face, you know, coming into spring, summer. Some warmth to your face. I've come out of my hibernation and I'm ready to glow. Under my lip as well, and then also just under my jaw, I think. Then to blend that out, of course, I'm taking the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. This is my favourite brush for blending out cream contour. I definitely recommend this. I feel like Real Techniques, no one really talks about it anymore. Like, well, the people I watch don't really talk about it anymore, but Real Techniques brushes are so good and they are definitely worth like the old school hype of like, because I feel like Real Techniques was that brand that Sam and that Nick came up with, and like it kind of started off this like beauty blogging sensation where like beauty YouTubers had their own brands and it was just so inspiring. Then the sides of my forehead and temples, and then under my cheekbones. Then I'm going to conceal. I'm taking the Maybelline Instant Age Concealer in the shade Light. This is like my favourite concealer, it's so good. Then I'm just going to go back to my Precious sponge and blend everything out. Now I'm going to set the face in place, taking my Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. Moving on to contour, I'm going to go in with this shade here called Ginger from the Nip and Fab contour kit on my Real Techniques contour brush. I'm going to go under my cheekbones, tend to the back of my temples. Then some under my chin and my jawline. Now back onto highlight. I'm going to be taking that blue eye shade from the Moonchild palette, which you can't really see because it's so bright. I'm going to take a little bit of the primer water and spray my Anastasia brush. This is the A23 brush. Give it a little bit of shake so it's not like dripping wet. Then go in with the shade Blue Ice. I do definitely recommend doing this with more like glittery highlights because then it won't get all over your skin. So I'm just gonna kind of dab it on the top of my cheekbone. I like to kind of tilt my cheek at my ring light. So if you're using natural daylight, just tilt your face while you're applying your highlight and then you'll be able to see where it's picking up on the light. Then I'm going to bronze up the face using the Barbados Babe bronzer from Miss Lynn Cosmetics on my Sigma F25 tapered face brush. I'm doing this after the blue kind of highlight just so it blends in a little bit more, because otherwise it just looks like you applied like a white blue line across your face. Then I'm going to set the face. I'm taking the Revolution Pro Fix setting spray. And just give my face a good fan with the mirror. Okay, so for lips, I'm actually going to apply a blue lipstick. I'm just going to go with it and we'll probably look like an alien, but there we go. So I'm going to take the eyeliner pencil in the shade Indigo Bird. My nose is really itchy since I sprayed that setting spray. I think I've got a piece of fluff on my nose. So I'm just going to apply this to my lips. It's quite creamy because it's an eyeliner pencil, so I'm going to be really careful. Okay, that looks really funny. Then I'm going to fill in the whole of the lip using this eyeliner pencil. The only thing I don't like about colourful lipsticks is the fact that because my lips are so naturally pink, the inside, like the actual like inside skin bit, you can't really colour in. For the lipstick, this is the only blue lipstick I own, and this is in the shade Immoral from Makeup Revolution, who are now Revolution Beauty. I'm just going to apply that to the centre of my lip. Then I'm going to use this Sigma lip brush. This is the L05 lip brush just to blend it out. I feel like I look very like alien-y. Nearly done. I thought I was done, but I need to apply some mascara to the lower lash line, and then that is the final step. So this is the finished makeup look. I am in love with the eye makeup. I think it looks so cool, and it's a technique that I haven't really tried before, so I'm really excited about it. Obviously the blue lip isn't really my cup of tea, but I do think it looks really cool for like artsy makeup. I wouldn't really wear it out and about, maybe to a festival or something if I was feeling super fancy. It makes me want to do this. Like, you know, like... It does also make my teeth look really yellow because of the blue. But apart from that, it does look really, really cool. And I had so much fun creating this makeup look. It definitely just goes to show that you can find your creativity anywhere, even by looking at a random picture of Dragon Ball on the computer, and this is what I've come up with. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you've done one of these videos, definitely leave a comment below and I'll go and watch yours. And if you did like it, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Subscribe down below. I'll do an animation up here. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you have already, I love you. Yeah, I really had fun doing this. If you want to see more of my videos, then I shall see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.